Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back. So if you don't already know by now, we got our first major Nexomon 3 teaser and a confirmation that the game will in fact be an open world 3D monster taming adventure title, so basically what you'd already expect with Nexomon 2, but taken into 3D and with even more emphasis on the open nature of the game. That being said, today I just wanted to quickly discuss some of my hopes with regards to the open world specifically, as we did put out a Nexomon 3 hopes video a couple of years ago at this point, which I have changed my opinion on in some aspects, but more importantly, today I'm going to be specifically talking about what some of my hopes and reservations are regarding Nexomon becoming 3D and open world specifically. So as per the usual, make sure to sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Okay, so this isn't going to be formatted like a list or anything. This is more casual today, but whenever it comes to monster taming games, I've personally noticed that a lot of the 2D games seem to have a lot smoother development cycles, seem to try to pack a lot more content into their games, and typically will look better just due to the uncanny valley effect that does hinder a lot of 3D titles. This honestly makes sense because it's a lot more plausible to attain a retro art style to match a past time period than it is to attain realistic PS5 level graphics as far as budgeting is concerned. Now, that being said, with the way Nexomon 3 is looking so far, I do like that they are going for this more anime-esque art style, because not only should that make it a lot easier to optimize, it should also keep the game looking really good for a longer period of time. A lot of people don't really talk about this, but if you look at a game like Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker from GameCube, it's one of the few 3D games from that era that still holds up to this day, and that's because of the art direction that they took. This unrealistic and more cartoony style keeps it out of the uncanny valley, which is something that does change as graphical limitations get pushed further and further, i.e. what was considered realistic during the GameCube era is now considered uncanny today. Anyways, with regards to that, I do have to agree with a lot of comments I've been seeing that Nexomon did have its own unique art style and charm, and I do hope that they are able to keep that charm when moving into 3D. A lot of people, including myself, feel that when Pokemon transitioned to 3D, a lot of monsters and the games themselves lost that artistic charm, so I do hope that the transition to 3D with Nexomon will still encapsulate the original feel of the previous games or capture a completely new charm. Furthermore, I feel that in many ways open world games get overhyped and overvalued. Nexomon Extinction was sort of open world. I'd consider it more semi-open world personally, but in doing so it managed to have a lot of content packed into a smaller space, and I don't want to see Nexomon 3 become a massive open world that is lacking content. I've said this many times in the past, but I'm not a huge fan of Zelda Breath of the Wild because I felt like a lot of the content in the game consisted of the same enemy types, very empty open fields that maybe contain Korok seeds or weapons that you're going to be able to use for 5 seconds before they break, etc. And personally, my biggest hope with Nexomon 3 is that they keep the size of the world realistic and filled with content, which should help with optimization and frame rate since they're not rendering this massive space. Basically, what I'm trying to get across is I think it's awesome that Nexomon is taking the leap into 3D. I just want the developers to take their time polishing, optimizing, and filling up their game with content, which, if I'm being completely honest, I have no doubt that that's something that they will do. I can't remember if I said this in my video yesterday where we explore the teasers, but I personally feel like if any monster taming game in the indie scene especially is going to convert from 2 to 3D, very few will be as up to the task as the Nexomon team, since they have a long history of making monster taming games and have a great attention to detail. Anyone that's played Nexomon 1 or 2 will understand that Nexomon has some of the best world building, again, attention to detail, epic moments, and memorable characters in the genre hands down, and I have nothing but excitement for this upcoming title. So basically all of this is to say I don't want to see people do what they did with the free Nexomon Abyssals update during the Nexomon Extinction lifecycle. Don't start harassing the developers for a release date. Don't try to make them feel pressured to hurry up and put out the release. Don't start begging for the game to be on your specific platform. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the teasers and reveals that we get from here on out, and give the developers some space. A lot of people do claim that they don't find the state of Scarlet and Violet's release to be acceptable. I agree, and if that's the case, give developers the amount of time needed in order to create these polished products, and subsequently we will be able to enjoy with a better experience. I don't know if the game's coming out in 2024, 2025, or 2026, but whenever it does come out, you guys already know that I will shower you guys with tons of guides, breakdowns, etc., and we'll be posting videos anytime we get significant updates leading up to that point. So yeah, all that being said, if you do want to stay up to date on all things Nexomon, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to let me know in the comments what you want to see with the upcoming title. You can also check out my Twitter, Discord, and Patreon linked below, and I just want to say special thanks to the patrons, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Dark Persona, Exodus, and Candy Morency. And honestly, guys, get ready for that Nexomon hype, because I don't care how long this game takes to come out, I'm going to be hyped the whole time. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.